Good here.
How does one play elimination versus what you normally play in the comp format?
Well, elimination has lives, obviously, and no bases and no reloads. So it's very different in many aspects. And for like Australasia, it has 1 shot per second, not 2. So for you guys, it's even more of a challenge. 8 lives, 10 minutes. You can actually only die once per minute.
And you'd still be out.
Yeah, exactly. That's much less than your ordinary game. There are of course many tactics and stuff, but basically you have the offense and you have like the defense. So either you go in on a defensive stance, like a survivor stance, you want to survive the game. That is most common when you play like either you have very aggressive teams against you or you have like better opponents against you. Then you go in a defensive stance mostly and an offensive stance if you play weaker teams.
Gotte, can you just explain how the point system works? Because you get awarded points for winning, for losing, and for sweeping. So what does that actually mean?
Okay, so if you win a match, it basically means you have more points than the opponents have. But at least one of the other teams has 1 player remaining. It doesn't matter if he has points or negative points even if he has minus 50 points. He still counts as like a surviving player, in which case you haven't swept. And if you win at that point, you get 3 points. The team that places in second, say they have minus 50, 1 player left, they get 2 points. Team that comes last, even if they have a lot of plus points and on the board, and all the players out, you count their points as 0, and they get 1 point. But if you should take the last player out and you have players remaining, let's say in a very weird scenario, would never happen, that you would be just 1 player remaining with minus 50 points, and somehow that player manages to shoot out the last player in the last remaining of the 2 teams, you would get 4.5 points as credit for the game itself. We had a small argument about what we did wrong in that game because we didn't win it, and for all of that game I assumed that we were winning it, and I was basically just checking one side, making sure that Identity Crisis couldn't come up and move up in our back. And I knew we had the French team, who was the weaker team, especially in duels, the weaker team on the field. So I was just flat out assuming that we were winning and that we're taking enough points on them to be safe, not to lose against Identity Crisis. Yeah, so I was standing behind, towards the end I was standing behind a wall with 6 of my 8 lives left, and I wasn't doing anything because I was so sure
that is the most embarrassing thing you can do, lose a game and have a lot of lives left.
I understand that, because I was over on the other side moving around a bit, and I was watching Identity Crisis tagging the French team, but I didn't see anything happening between you two.
Exactly, because we were assuming that, because attacking is when you lose your lives, right?
Yeah.
You get, of course, when you're defending, but in general, the attacking team usually loses the most amount of lives in the beginning, because you have like a defense line, and if that's breached, of course, then you start losing a lot of lives. But before that happens, the attacking team is losing lives.
Yeah.
So what we thought was that we were in the lead, so we shouldn't be like required to attack, because that's always a risk.
Yeah.
And we were like, they have to attack sooner or later because they have no points. So what actually happened is that did attack, but not us. So they did get a lot of points, and we actually just waited them out because we assumed that they have to attack because they have no points. And what actually happened is they did have points and won the game.
All right, well, good luck. I think traditionally the Swedish teams do well in eliminations, so good luck for the finals.
We played a little bit differently than here, but we should be fine.
Thank you.